What you're about to watch is a completely raw, basically unedited, and basically uncut version of a Michigan fan's reaction to this week's game for the Michigan Wolverines. So if you're a fan of this football team and you want to join in on the joys of winning as well as the sorrows of losing every single tough away game and every game against the Ohio State Buckeyes, go ahead and subscribe right here. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of the Michigan sports action. Now, without further ado, here's that reaction you came for. Enjoy. You know, I said the Wolverines were going to win this game, but I didn't think it was going to be in that fashion. We're covering that game right now. Let's go. Joe Milton won the job over Dylan McCaffrey. Now listen, let's not get too excited about Milton. Get excited. He looked good. Let's not get too excited. I'm going to tell you why. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Hear me out here first, okay? A lot of Milton's throws were moderate and easy throws that a lot of quarterbacks can give, and I am not blaming that game plan at all. We finally saw speed in space. We finally saw the ball go to Sanders, go to Giles Jackson, go to Charbonnet, go to your athlete. We used our athleticism today. We made it easy for Joe Milton. So on the stat line, you're going to see that Joe Milton was 15 for 22, 225 yards, 1 touchdown, and most importantly, no turnovers. And that's a great day. Don't get me wrong, and promise you, I'm not bashing Joe Milton. I think he's going to be good. I was very pleasantly surprised by his performance last night because this is being recorded on Sunday. I was pleasantly surprised, but a lot of the throws were easy. But guess what? We did let him throw the ball deep, and the throws were off target, but not terrible. They weren't Shea Patterson and some of the misses that he had last year. They showed his cannon. Dude, there were some times where he was rolling out, which we knew this about Joe Milton already. He has an absolute cannon, but he rolled out that one time, threw the ball 45 yards on the run. It was a good enough pass to where only the receiver could catch it, and he made it look so effortless. Joe Milton is a stud, don't get me wrong. He's going to be good throughout the season. He's going to smoke Michigan State. But don't get too overly excited. I'm cautioning you. Don't get too overly excited just because of last night's performance. He could be good. He might be great. But don't let last night's performance be the end-all be-all on your judgment on him. Try to be a reasonable Wolverines fan. Continue to give it some time. Have some optimism, but make it cautious. Also some good news. Milton obviously had 8 carries for 52 yards and a touchdown. That was something I harped on last year. Let's make Shea run more. Let's utilize his legs. Why did we not do it? We have the capability. All those guys could run. Milton, Shea, Dylan McCaffrey, they all could run, and we didn't want to run them very often. Shea would always give it off, keep the ball every now and then, but he didn't. Milton did yesterday, and it paid dividends. And that's another area where Michigan made it easy for Joe Milton, because on top of his 52 yards, Michigan also had 201 yards total outside of those 52 yards, so they had 253 total. Hassan Haskins had 6 carries for 82 yards, 2 touchdowns, has a knack for the end zone. Zach Charbonnet, 4 carries, 70 yards, so really just that 170-yarder, and was stymied from there and had a touchdown. That's weird to say that Zach Charbonnet only had 4 carries, but that just speaks to the volume of Michigan's depth at running back. Chris Evans, Hassan Haskins, Zach Charbonnet, they are so freaking loaded there. The offense is loaded. Corum had 5 carries for 21 yards. We are stacked. Chris Evans, 5 carries for 19, had that touchdown. Giles Jackson ran the ball once for 8 yards. AJ Henning, 1 for 6 yards. Are you seeing a theme here? We're getting the ball to other people. We're distributing the ball. We're displaying speed in space. We're finally seeing speed in space, and it's a beautiful thing at Michigan. And guess what? If we do it all year, we will go into the Ohio State game undefeated. We will go into the game undefeated because we will utilize our athletes, and our athletes are better than anyone else's athletes, including Penn State's, who lost to Indiana, and Wisconsin's. We are more talented than those teams. Let's prove it, and if we play like we did last night on both sides of the ball, we will prove it. Real quick, the bad. Jake Moody was 0 for 3. Now, I'm hearing that Quinn Nordine had some health issues or some kind of injury maybe. I don't know. I haven't looked too much into it because I was preparing for the Detroit Lions live stream, which if you are a Lions fan or a Michigan fan, go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now. We'd love to have you. We cover all these teams. It's a fun time. Okay, but yeah, Jake Moody was 0 for 3. Quinn Nordine was going through some things. Let's not go ahead and say that that's not the bad. That is bad. Okay, we have to fix that, obviously. A lot of points left on the board. In a closer game, those would have mattered. okay? Even with the blowout, it kind of matters because it's like, man, we should have beat them by more, and we didn't. On the road, though, we win 49-24, and we don't do it without our defense. Now, were there times where the defense wasn't great? Absolutely. But most of the time, the defense was pretty good. They gave up the 7 points early off of the block punt in the short field, and we didn't look good in doing it. It was wide open, simple, 7-0 lead for Minnesota, and it wasn't looking good early. But outside of that, they only scored 17 points. And I'm telling you, Michigan was so hit or miss yesterday, but we were much more hit more than we were miss. We'd either like stop them at the line of scrimmage or for a 1-yard loss, or we give up a bigger play. But most of the time, we did work. We do, though, have to shore up the rush defense. While we did outgame Minnesota, I said we had those 253 yards on our end. They only had 129, so they almost did half of the production as us, but Ibrahim did kill us. He went 27 carries for 140 yards and 5.4 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns. So, you know, a lot of them were up the middle and he bounced out. It was good vision by him, but that doesn't matter. We got to find a way to stop him, okay? We got to find a way to stop the opposing team's running back. Ohio State's going to have much more weapons than what Minnesota's going to, so we have to shore that up throughout the season. But we have a pretty good defensive line and linebacking core, so I have full faith in us. Tanner Morgan, not an excellent day. 18 for 31, 197, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not near as much as I would have thought out of him, to be honest with you. So good job. Green, cornerback Green. Can't even pronounce his first name yet because guess what? I don't get volume when I stream the game, so let me know in the comments below how to pronounce the guy's dang name. But obviously, I knew about him coming into the season because he's taking the place of Ambry Thomas, who opted out, and wow, he looked good. He gave up that long play, I believe it was to Bateman, and really was good coverage. It was just an underthrown ball. Some people said interference. I saw no interference. It was just an underthrown ball, and that is advantage wide receiver because he can see the ball is underthrown. The defensive cornerback cannot. So not blaming Green for that. Throughout the game, though, pass deflection after pass deflection after good coverage over and over and over again. Green was there and Green was present. He looked good. No complaints on him. Didn't miss Ambry Thomas in week 1. Miss Ambry Thomas in my heart, but in terms of on the field production, Green covered the role just fine. A lot of people played well. The guy of the game, my friend and I, Phil, who call the games, we live stream the game, so if you want to see Michigan live coverage, please join us. We'd love to chat with you in the chats while we're covering those games. But Michael Barrett, a natural at the Viper position. That freaking hit on Tanner Morgan that ended up in a scoop and score for Donovan Jeter was huge. And that return on the weird kickoff was huge. And he had so many hits and so many plays in the backfield and so many plays in general throughout the game. Michael Barrett, to me, there were a lot of great players in this game, but Michael Barrett was the player of the game for that defense. So yes, to round it all up, we have to shore up the rush defense, get a little bit better in that regard, and I expect to week by week. This was just week 1. This was just week 1. Have some things to shore up, but looked good altogether. Michigan looked great altogether in general. 49-24, we get the win on the road. Yes, it's COVID. Yes, home field advantage doesn't mean as much for the home team, but it's still at Minnesota. We still have to travel there. We still have to go through all those kind of arrangements. We still have to be in unfamiliar territory. It's not in Ann Arbor. It's not in the big house. There's so much going on, and we get the win despite all the naysayers. No one knows why Michigan's line moved to -3 as them being the favorite when it originally opened up at what, 2.5 for Minnesota. But it did, and Michigan covered, and Michigan got the job done and did it for the city. Michigan goes 1-0. We have Michigan State next. No time for complacency. Have to get it done. Have to crush them the way we did last year. Then it's at Indiana, which has proven to be a little bit of a harder game than what we imagined it to be after they beat Penn State. And they have given us troubles in general even before this. And they're going to come in confident. They're actually ranked number 17, I'm seeing, just off of this. Didn't know that before recording this video, but I know now. Hopefully we start out 3-0 before we have the Wisconsin game. We'll stop there. We won't get ahead of ourselves. Let's stay right there. Let's go 2-0, 3-0, get it done, okay? I'm excited, man. Actually, this is Sunday. I just watched the Lions game, just streamed the Lions game, saw us go to 3-3. a really exciting victory, and that's off of the high of yesterday of crushing Minnesota. It's been a great weekend. It's been an exhausting weekend, but it's been a wonderful time watching my teams win both games. And if you're a Wolverines and Lions fan, you can join in on that enthusiasm by subscribing to the channel right here, okay? So I'll see you next time on Intermittent Sports. Got all kinds of funny videos coming out. Got all kinds of hysterical stuff. Got all kinds of previews. All the action that you can need as a Michigan sports fan. Be on the lookout for us if you know Mark Rogers TV. He has a college football channel. We're going to be doing a video how Michigan fans reacted to week such and such. We're going to start it out and see what kind of results it gets. But this week will be the first one. That should be coming out Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll have to talk to Mark about that. But it's like a funny, quick one-liner skit video that shows us how we reacted to all the games throughout college football. Think how Bama fans reacted from Funny Main on YouTube. If you like those videos, you're going to like this video. But until next time, guys, we are 1-0. We're winners. Hail to the victors. Go Blue. See you guys soon.